Hello everyone, here's your Southeast Idaho weather hazard and impact briefing for Thursday, September 19th. We've got a pretty active period coming up here through tomorrow evening and even into Saturday across portions of central and eastern Idaho. Some decent amounts of rain and snow, especially in the mountains. The central mountains are going to see a lot of precipitation, it looks like, with this particular storm. Snow levels by tomorrow, pretty much area-wide as that low crosses the area, 7,500 to 8,000 feet. With some heavier showers, maybe a thunderstorm. That's going to help to even drive the snow levels a little bit lower than that, simply by how things work. When you get the heavy precipitation, it tends to make it cool things off and even drive those snow levels down a bit. Confidence for our forecast is, again, high through this afternoon. It really starts dropping off overnight tonight into tomorrow as the low crosses. And there's another storm early next week with plenty of question marks. Exactly where is that storm going to track, and is it really going to impact central and eastern Idaho? On the satellite loop or image, you can see we have our storm here over the Pacific Northwest, already a band of rain and snow across southwestern Idaho up through the central mountains into portions of southwestern Montana, and that band of precipitation really is not going to go anywhere. And in fact, as you'll notice here with the forecast, it actually starts to shift back to the west as that low kind of deepens a little bit, strengthens a little bit back to our west. Here we are going through the afternoon hours, and you can see the most of the precipitation is going to start falling over the central mountains, kind of moving away from other areas. There will probably still be a few showers farther down to the south and to the east, but once you get over in the Arco Desert, I-15, Eastern Highlands, we're not expecting any precipitation, at least during the daytime today into the early part of this evening. And then you'll notice that band by early evening is already back to the west, and we really won't see that progress east until later tonight and tomorrow morning. Now, we talked about confidence in the forecast. We're, again, confident through most of the day into this evening, but you'll notice we're already starting to see some differences by tomorrow morning. We've got two of our models that we really look at here. I want to show you a side-by-side comparison of what we're actually dealing with and the differences that we're seeing. So we go into tonight, into tomorrow morning. Here we are by 6 a.m., There's some agreement there'll be some showers east of I-15 up around Island Park, but you'll notice one model is fairly dry compared to the other over the central mountains and has a really more consolidated band back to the west. So we go into tomorrow morning. This is noon on Friday. One area has a pretty good swath of dry air over the eastern areas with more rain and snow back to the west. The other model is already pushing things to the east. By the time we get into tomorrow afternoon, things are a little bit closer in agreement. We still, though, have one model that is dry in some areas, laying down quite a precipitation in other areas, whereas one of the models has got most of precipitation over the central and eastern areas, and it's more consolidated, or I should say more widespread than the other. So we go into tomorrow night, you'll start to see the models getting back in line fairly quickly. Areas of rain and snow showers east of I-15, and that kind of stays in place as we go into Saturday afternoon and evening, maybe a few more showers Saturday back across the higher ranges, the peaks and ridges over the central mountains, especially around Chalice, Mackey, back up into Limhi County. Now, how does this look precipitation-wise? Again, looking at light precipitation for most of the area this morning where we have that band, we could see some places a tenth to a quarter of an inch once you get into the mid and upper slopes up in the central mountains, also back down to the southwest of Burley. We go into this afternoon. Still some very light snow at the very highest elevations, but you'll notice seeing some more widespread, moderate amounts of precipitation, rain over the central mountains. Most areas seeing around a tenth to a quarter. We could see on some of the mid and upper slopes maybe a quarter to a half an inch of precipitation. It all depends if we can get some heavier showers or even a few thunderstorms to develop in the central mountains later on today into this evening. And then we continue to see that over the central mountains just kind of sitting there, even, again, like we said, moving back to the west. Not much going on elsewhere across the area until we get into tomorrow morning. And as we go through the day tomorrow, we're still looking at some pretty good areas of precipitation in the central mountains. A little uptick in precipitation across the Magic Valley into the South Hills and Albion Mountains. We'll start to see that continuing to shift on to the east to tomorrow afternoon and into tomorrow night as well. And again, snow levels tomorrow, if you're around 7,500 to 8,000 feet, there might be some snow. The big concern is, Stanley Basin this time of year is pretty chilly. We might actually see some light, wet snow trying to fall in the Stanley Basin tomorrow morning, but don't expect that to really be an issue. No impacts. It's just going to be, hey, it's fall, or getting close to fall, and we do tend to get a little bit of snow in some situations like that this time of year. As we go into the prolonged period, this is the total for the whole event. You can see, look at the Central Mountains, 1.25, half to 1 inch. Some of the higher elevations, an inch of precipitation or more. Once you get over to Island Park, or maybe around a half an inch of precipitation. Other areas generally seeing less than that. The Snake Plain probably is going to be the driest area begin. If we get any thunderstorms moving across the Snake Plain tomorrow, that's going to send the precipitation amounts up in some areas, maybe even double them, depending on how things pan out. And the mountains, like we said, we could see some of those really high elevation areas seeing 6 or more inches of snow. But again, that's over a prolonged period. It's not going to fall at once, and definitely it's going to be melting as we go with the warmer temperatures. Even though it's chilly during the day tomorrow, a lot of this will be melting after it falls. Now, we talked about this storm system for Sunday and Monday, and this is a little bit different thing we look at behind the scenes. We'll kind of give you an idea. Each one of these lines on this map indicates where that storm system will be by the time we get to Monday afternoon. It could be anywhere from eastern Idaho back down along towards southern California. The farther south that storm system goes, the less chance of rain and snow we have in our area. Of course, the storm, if it ends up closer to us, we will see a better chance of rain and snow. Right now, we don't have a lot going in the forecast in that regard. Now, forecast temperatures, we don't have clouds and that band of rain and snow today. It's going to be 60s to maybe near 70 in the valleys, much cooler back towards the west. And cooler area-wide tomorrow, it's going to struggle to get out of the 50s in the valleys, 30s and 40s up in the high country. Saturday, a little bit warmer. Sunday, even a little bit warmer. We might see a few more 70s. And if we see more cloud cover, these 60s across the Snake Plain, the 50s in the mountains, we're going to be much cooler than that. But again, after that, it's going to start warming up as we have dry northwest flow across the area. So once again, rain and snow coming, snow levels around 7,500 to 8,000 feet tomorrow. And after this evening, or after this afternoon, this evening, that confidence in the forecast really drops out. So really pay attention once you get into later on today and tonight exactly what's going to happen for tomorrow. If you have any questions, please do give us a call or give us an email. We're here 24/7, 365. Have a good day, everyone, and do be safe out there.